Let's hear Andrew Kolvet in his own words.
But I want to take the start of this show to address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there. I first want to say the reason I didn't share that screen grab publicly is because it was a private exchange, and I felt like it didn't necessarily comport with things that were already public. I wanted to not betray my friends' trust in that way. But I did share it with some people in government because it happened really quick. It was, it took 33 hours for authorities to get their suspect. And in those first moments, we wanted no stone unturned. We wanted to leave nothing unturned. So I shared it with a few people. Don't know where it went from there, apparently. But here we are. So one of the reasons, Blake, that I'm glad to have this now public, it was not mine to share publicly, but one of the criticisms we've received is that we don't care. We're not investigating every lead. We're not looking under every stone. And that somehow we're just sweeping things under the rug. And when I say that we want justice for Charlie more than anybody else, I really mean it, and no stone unturned. I mean, I don't know if you want to chime in on that part alone, but I have more to say.
Yeah, so it has been so frustrating to have people blow up about this.
Yeah.
And I've certainly stated publicly, the reason I haven't weighed in on things is I am an eyewitness to events, and they've said, don't comment on things because anything you say can mess that up. I don't want to mess up any trial for the person who did this.
That's 1,000% right. And I will say I wasn't an eyewitness. I was not there. I flew to Utah immediately to be with the family and the team, but I was not an eyewitness. So there's that. But I am aware that in my role as spokesman for Turning Point USA, which is another hat I wear, that things I say, I'm cognizant of the fact that things I say could negatively impact an ongoing investigation. All right. But I will weigh in specifically on this issue of Israel because I know there's a lot of fascination. And I just want to say that, we have to let free speech be our North Star here. Okay. Charlie was adamantly free speech. And I am not personally going to impugn anybody's character who is asking questions and looking for answers. All right. And I will say that text chain is consistent with public frustrations that he voiced many times. And I know, Blake, you were in the trenches on a lot of this stuff because we were workshopping how we were going to do the tour and what he's going to get asked about Israel, what was he going to say. And this is consistent with things that he told his friends, people that are, in the wider movement about his wrestle that he was going. And so I just want to say, what is the truth about the way Charlie felt about Israel? Well, it's complicated and it's nuanced, and it was a wrestle that was going on for months. And it's probably somewhere between the BB letter and the text.
So what do we think? Okay, obviously, you can tell he's anxious. You can tell he's nervous speaking about this. I am sure it was positively frantic at Turning Point USA yesterday. I am sure he had very little sleep. And like I say, never the fun thing to be the spokesperson and also to be involved in the story. I can tell you right off the bat, he is telling the truth. He was not the person who shared that message with me. He also should know that he was not the only person who sent that message and sent messages around. So there are a lot circulating, some videos that are circulating. And he's being honest about that portion. I personally, as someone who knows Andrew Kolvet, I want to express how I feel. I hold it against him, actually, that he didn't share it with me. He knew. I cried on the phone with Andrew. He knew how I was feeling. And then I went under a very, well, you could say a blitzkrieg, right? A heavy bombardment from people who he knows hated Charlie, who tried to stop Charlie, people who had no issues showing up to his memorial. I mean, really gross stuff, who were attacking me. And he could have at least provided some cover. Now, I'm not saying that I need help, but sometimes it's nice to offer somebody a lifeboat when they're being attacked for telling the truth, right?
So let's continue our conversation on this whole Charlie Kirk unfortunate incident and how a judge has issued a gag order preventing people from talking about the case. And you must ask yourself, why? Why would a judge issue this order? Why would they not want people to talk about the issue? Is it because the whole thing looks so wash? Is it because the whole thing looks so staged? Is it because the people are poking a lot of holes in their whole narrative? Is it because they haven't done enough investigation into the issue to know what really happened? Or was it all just a smokescreen? Why? Because remember, right? The only time you don't want people talking about any issue is when you are trying to cover up something. It's when you know that this whole thing is not the truth, or there are some buried bodies that will be uncovered. I am speaking figuratively. So you are worried buried bodies will be uncovered, and you don't want that to happen. So you just go ahead and issue this order telling people you are ordered by law not to discuss this case. There is an article that I want us to go through, but before we get to that, let me just say this, right? As someone from the outside looking in, this whole situation has been a big disgrace for America. We from the African continent knew that America wasn't what people assume it is, or what they want us to think they are. We knew that. So let's see this article. The article says Candace Owens vows to defy gag order in Charlie Kirk's murder case. Here's what it means. That Candace Owens has said that she's not gonna respect this gag order. She's not gonna follow it. And if she has something to say about the death of her friend Charlie, she is going to say it. It doesn't matter what the judge has said. She won't respect it. So let's go a little bit further. Conservative influencer Charlie Kirk's murder has sparked a gag order, limiting lawyers' public comments to ensure a fair trial. However, his friend and fellow conservative Candace Owens has vowed to defy the order. The high-profile murder of far-right commentator Charlie Kirk has triggered a media firestorm. Conspiracy theories and now a gag order. But conservative commentator Candace Owens says she has no intention of staying silent. Yeah. So Candace is saying that the gag order is just for them. And as far as she's concerned, she won't stay quiet. Candace has been very, very effective in getting information out there about this whole situation. And she was really surprised that people who are friends of Charlie, people who she thinks would have been on the front line fighting to know exactly what happened to Charlie, were staying quiet, were staying silent. And according to her, she was surprised that all this was taking place. But as far as she was concerned, she won't let the people who did this to Charlie get away with it. She has been dead serious on that. And I hope that she continues. I hope that she gets to the bottom of the issue. And many people, I've seen a lot of comments where people say negative things about Candace Owens, people calling her a cloud chaser, people saying that she's just doing this for herself, she's trying to make herself relevant. And I think that that's not even the point. And by the way, even if she is trying to make herself relevant by talking about something important, by sharing more light on a situation that we wouldn't get those information if not of her, then I think she's doing a good thing. I think she is helping us uncover many things. Whether or not she is using that to build her own portfolio, her own image, or to gain more audience is irrelevant in my own opinion. As far as she is doing what is necessary to share more light on the situation, I think she is more than welcome in my own opinion. But then again, you tell me what you think in the comment section below. What do you think might be the reason why they would issue this gag order? Why? Are they hiding something? Is there something that they don't want us to know? Share your thoughts and opinion with us in the comment section below, because I always love hearing what you have to say. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video, tell a friend or two about the platform. We are trying to get our content in front of a wider audience, and we believe that your love and support will get us there way more quickly. And we shall appreciate every single help that we get from you. So, thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.